Guys, this is the story of the RMS Red 2. The RMS Red 2 was launched in 1921. Its maiden voyage was in 1922. What happened to it was I'll be showing you the biggest trouble with the voyage. And why don't you go? It's a voyage that almost made sense in the background. But the maiden voyage was perfectly fine as this is what it would look like in 1923 as it got back to America. So, shortly after that storm had rolled through, whenever that storm was happening, someone did fall overboard, sadly. But yeah, it's a with four-bladed propellers. It was registered not as 62,000 gross tons. As on its maiden voyage, someone had something down in the oil ring instead of attacking someone. But what happened was that person they had used one of the lifeboats and made the person's way back. Well, they had first gotten told another ship about it, that other ship was the Lauretania, and shortly after that they had gotten the person. They had escorted the person. Well, they lowered the lifeboat, and the person went onto the Lauretania. Oh my God. As the ship was sailing, though, to Cape Town, on most of its voyages, it would almost sink every time because of an island. And also they had, for that time, it was It had been Redliner Star's flagship. The Red 2, but its fate was, well, instead of being well, what miraculously happened to it was they did a thing where they would halfway scrap the ship, but then it got rebuilt. As it was nicknamed the Queen of the Seas because it was pretty big for its time, as they're 1923 and 1925. It held the record of the biggest ship in the world. World War II. During World War II, it served as a hospital ship. Once there had been a bomb, and it had went through the first funnel, almost sinking the ship. If you want to see that, stick to the end of the video. But yeah, it had dodged torpedoes. It had also sunken a U-boat once in its career. But also something that was really a trouble for the ship was during World War II, Dragon Line, the Chinese shipping line, made 3 warships. One of them was the SS Destroyer. The second one was SS. No, the second one was I-92, and the third one was I-93. As they were U-boats, but also destroyer ships, as they could rise out of the water and start shooting and ramming ships. But once they had gotten 3 torpedoes from that ship, and they had started sinking from the side and almost fully capsized and sunk. But shortly after World War II, they would have to dry dock the ship halfway, but before they halfway scrapped it, it had gotten refitted, but then it would get sold to Dragon to Winter Exports line and got turned into a different ship. But what had happened was the Red 2 had then been turned into a ship called Beauty of Winter Exports line, and no, Beauty of the Winter, and it had went on 13 voyages, but once it had almost sunken so it had been anchored in Cape Town. But then, for no reason, they had gotten torpedoed. And then almost instantly, but now the ship sits in New York, and now it's basically, but now the ship does ferries around New York where they transport people from New York, from one side of New York to the other. Bye guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great day.